Okay, I'll share something with you here. I found a couple of channels. Just, I'm sure you're all aware of this. There's all this AI stuff now. Channels with celebrity voiceovers and all this stuff. Uh, the best stuff, and the people were making fun of Joe Rogan was talking about it. All these cover tunes, well, they'll take like a heavy metal song and play it play it in a reggae version, or they'll take a reggae song and make it a heavy metal version. Really, really interesting. I'm enjoying all this stuff because it's taking something that's already been and making it new. But there is, what you call it? There are channels. I found 5 or 6 of them, but there's 3 that I like. And what they are, it's a guy on a radio after the collapse. Okay. Some guy, he still has a radio. There's already been the collapse. And then it's just, raiders and people trying to hang on, survivors and all this kind of stuff. And it's not educational, but it's entertaining. And they made the SHTF WROL an entertaining topic, and they're telling it like kind of what the day-to-day life kind of thing is. Very entertaining. But I wouldn't necessarily, someone said, well, this isn't correct. They're talking about stuff. This is not how. No, just something you can do just for entertainment. The one I like the most, it's a channel called Radio Afterlife. It has here's a title. You're listening to the radio post-PMP attack. Post-EMP attack. And these guys talk about having solar power or their bicycle charging the battery that runs the radio, and they're on the radio, having like an Art Bell kind of thing. Transmitting and such. And there's sometimes they're well, I'll just leave it at that. But there's 3 others. It's Radio Afterlife. I'll put the links down below. That's one channel. That's my favorite. Then there's Collapcast, like collapse, but it's COLLAPCAST, Collapcast. And another one called Dystocast, like dystopian. And I can see where some people they got a real problem with the AI and storytelling, how it's all, but just take it for what it is. That's where we're at. That's where we're you could pick a favorite celebrity, have them do your audio, your voiceover. I like the music stuff though. But this is interesting because it was just they're usually about 2 hours long. Excuse me. But in a way, you can kind of maybe learn something from it because it's, like I said, it's all, when I first heard it, I thought, oh, these stories are like from the survivalism stories from like the 80s and 90s because the stuff they're talking about. And you'll get too where they some of the first ones I found is they're not talking about a phone or email or none of that stuff. I thought, oh, these guys are doing some old stories that have been written and they're just throwing it up on the internet here. But now I think most of it's AI completely through and through. But they tell it as a story and it's pretty entertaining. Radio Afterlife, Collapcast, and Dystocast. It's entertaining. Anyhow, love you. God bless.